So,
कक्षा सरांचा आवाज येईना फोन कर त्यांना
तू कर. So,
Oh, okay, you guys can hear now?
yes, sir.
Okay, some technical issue, I guess. So I had started with the portions, so I'll go back. I think you guys were not able to listen. So can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, brilliant. So I'll go back and start from the beginning. So operations research introduction module 1. Okay, so definition. So I am choosing the bigger definition here so that it will be helpful for you in writing the 3 marks answers. Okay, so here multiple definitions are there, not an issue. Okay, multiple definitions are there. So first we'll see the bigger definition, and there are many definitions given by different people. Okay, so what is operations research? Operation research is the application of the methods of science to complex problems arising in the direction of management of large systems of men, machine, materials, and money in industry, business, government, and defense. So, what is this? Operation research is these are application of different methods of science to complex problems. Okay, so arising where? Arising in the management of large number of men, managers, people who are working, how many people you need at what time, and those kind of things. Okay, then machines. How many machines I need, when to install. So where I need all the machines at a time, or I can buy them in installments at a certain period of time or after certain period of time. And material. So when should I get my material? Okay, for like you need raw materials, right, to come up with a finished product. So when should I order, how much should I order? So these things, and even money. So many people take loans, short term borrowings, long term borrowings will be there. So when and what, how to manage. So even there this helps, where all? In industry. So it might be the whole industry which is using this, or it might be a business, it might be government. When government uses this to properly arrange each and everything. Okay, depends on what project it is working, depend on what they are doing. Okay, government and defense. So widely it is used in defense, because there if you see in defense, so somewhere if they go for an operation or so, so they need to calculate everything, because at times they can take some vehicles, they can go with choppers and all, but major times if they are going in stealth, that means the other people should not know that you are coming. So that is called a stealth basically. So without the notice of your enemies or wherever you are going basically, so at that time you need to carry, I mean the soldier need to carry everything that he needs, including the weapon, ammunition, plus the food, and if something happens to them over there, the first aid kit and all those things should be carried by the men itself. Okay, for the people who are moving, it could be a small group of 5-10 people, or it could be a huge battalion of 100-150 soldiers, so you never know. So everything has to be calculated. So there, this particular operation research methods for the using like scientifically proven methods, where you can find out what is optimum. Okay, to get that optimum point where a person should not kill. Like for example, in defense, a person can carry 30 kgs or 50 kgs. Okay, so if you think 50 kgs is taking, so what is the proportion of each and everything? Okay, that he should carry. There should be water, there should be food, there should be arms and ammunition, there should be medicines, and some other things that he will be requiring in that particular mission. So all those things are there. So how much of each quantity, depending upon how many people are going there, and how it is distributed. So it so happens that everything like not be distributed properly, because if, in war or in any missions we can lose people. So if he is a person who cannot continue, if he is having a certain piece of equipment which is very much needed ahead, so it will not be possible to complete the mission, right? So what they'll do, so like if only one person is there, he should be self-sufficient in doing the work what is assigned. So it will be that way planned. So to do this, it is not that easy. So just by speaking, you'll say that he has to carry this, and this. So whether it is possible, what is the total weight of it, so, and what are the means that he is going. So these things are very much important. Okay, then the distinctive approach is to develop a scientific model of a system. So applying all those methods, we'll come up with a model. Okay, this kind of thing we are doing, this is kind of model. So no need, once if it is developed, that only has to be used. So based on type of problem you are solving, okay, or type of project you are doing, so the model may differ. The model may have some changes, or there might be a altogether new model only established to do that using the different methods of science. Okay, then the distinctive approach is to develop a scientific model of the system incorporating measurements of factors such as chance and risk. Okay, it is very much important. So there is risk in everything. If I start a project, will it be able to complete in this particular amount of time? If not, what will happen? So that is the risk. Then what is that? Risk and chance. So what are the chances of me completing it? So chances in the sense we can put it in terms of probability, because you have just finished that particular thing. So what is the probability of me completing? That is what is called a chance. And risk, what is the risk involved in it? So everything has to be taken into account. So risk with which to predict and compare the outcomes of alternative decisions, strategies, or controls. So just not coming up with one thing. So there might be different alternatives, right? For example, from moving from, just an example I'll tell you. If you see here, 2 points are there, 1 point and point 2. So from moving from one point to other point, this might be one of the lines. So there might be a further straighter line than this. I'm not able to draw. Okay, there could be going like this. There could be going like this. They could turn so many places, and they could go and meet point A from point A to point B. We never know. So you can say, sir, the easiest way is going in a straight path from A to B. So there might be so many issues in doing so. Okay, there might be a mountain just for moving from A to B and telling. So there might be a mountain. You cannot go straight. So you have to take that curve. So it might so happen that it might be very steep that you cannot go directly across that particular mountain. In the sense, directly around it. So you need to take a bigger route. So all this needs to be taken into consideration. You just cannot say the shorter distance is the straight line. So he has to move in straight line. I don't know how he is going. Okay, that will not work here, because all the things which are available to you has to be taken into account. Okay, if you say, okay, straight line I can reach there in half an hour, but taking this longer route I need 2 hours. So if you just make arrangements, or if you plan according to half an hour, it will not work, because you will not reach there 100%. I'll tell you, you will not reach there in half an hour, because the terrain is like that. So you need to take that 2 hours path. But if you have not planned for that day route, so there will be issues at the end. Okay. So which all available ways are there to reach it, and which is the optimal one? Okay, so I can take a bigger turn than this. So I can go here, everywhere, then I can go and reach the point. But there is no point in doing so. Okay, because there is a proper way available, or the shortest way where everything can be accommodated, right? So those things are there. So that is there. Then predict and compare the outcomes of alternatives, decision strategies, and controls. Strategies or controls. The purpose is to help management determine its policies and actions scientifically. So what is the purpose of this particular operations research? It is to help the management determine its policy and actions scientifically. So they'll ask, no, if you take any decision, why are you taking this particular decision, on what basis? So this could be there, right? So you need to mention that, okay, saying that, okay, by these all methods, I'm coming up with this strategy, or these are the points to be done, or steps to be taken, or this is the procedure to follow, so that you end up with a proper answer. Okay, so that is what is the bigger thing. So you should remember here what are the important things. It is application of methods okay, of science to complex problems arising where in management of large systems of men, machines, materials, etc. You can put where in industry, business, government, and defense. Then the distinctive approach is to develop scientific model. So this is important. You need to use the word scientific model of the system, incorporating measurements of factors such as chance and risk. So you need to use the words factors such as chance and risk, with which to predict and compare. Again, to predict and compare the outcomes of alternative decisions. So to check what alternative decisions are there and to compare which one is good. Why we are doing it? So that we can tell that with the help, so the purpose is to help the management determine its policy and actions scientifically. So the terms which are underlined now, these are important words. So make sure you are using these words. Okay, science, like methods of science to complex problems arising in the direction of management of large systems of men, machines, materials, where in industries, in businesses, in governments, and in defense. So why are we doing this? To approach and develop a scientific model, okay, of a system which incorporates or which takes everything into consideration. What all things? Factors such as chance and risk, chance of happening or chance of not happening, then what is the risk involved, plus to check which all alternate decisions are available to us, then compare them and choose a right path or choose a right alternative out of all the different alternatives available to me, so that to help management to determine its policies and actions scientifically. Okay, this is particular definition is given by Operational Research Society of UK. Okay, again this has to be mentioned. So there is no person's name or anything. It is Operational Research Society. So OR Society of UK. So you remember easily. Okay, I hope I was clear with the definition, why we are using, where we are using, and how we are using this particular operational research or operations research. Coming to the next one, the other definitions. These are given by two more people. I mean, the authors. There are two in each. Okay, operations research is the systematic application of quantitative methods, techniques, and tools to the analysis of the problems involving the operations of system. So here what we are saying, there it was scientific approach. Okay, so here they are telling you quantitative methods. What is the systematic application of quantitative methods, techniques, and tools? So all this combined, everything we can put as scientific approach. Okay, to the analysis of the problems involving operations of system. In short, he is giving. So each and every definition means the same, but in a different words. Only we can say. So because the core thing of war is the same. What is the core thing is the same, but we are defining it in a different manner. Each and every person's view will be different for the same thing. So these are the different definitions given by different people based on what they have found out. Okay, this particular thing, this particular definition which I just read is given by Daniel Back and George. Okay, Dale, Dale Back and George. So there is one more definition for you. Operations research is a scientific method of providing executive departments with a quantitative basis for decisions regarding the operations under their control. If you like, I'm getting a feeling that if you mix both these definitions, you are getting a previous definition. How? Because again, here he is using a scientific method of providing executive departments. There they are used people who are taking decision makers or management. Okay, here they are using executive departments with a quantitative basis. Okay, some kind of a model is a quantitative basis for what? For decision regarding the operations under their control. Okay, there would be some problem or something, some procedure needs to be done. So how are we going to do that? So that is what is operations under their control. So because they need to do the operations, so how they are doing? They are doing using a scientific method for giving executive departments with a quantitative basis. On what basis? On quantitative basis for decisions regarding the operations under their control. And this is given by PM Morse and GE Kimball. Okay, so these two people have given this particular definition, that is PM Morse and G. Kimball. So three definitions we saw. One was bigger. So I hope, like, if you remember the bigger one, it will be more elaborative way of defining OR. So no doubt even you can use this, but you need to give some examples so that it becomes, the answer becomes work for 3 marks. Okay. Next comes scope of OR. What is scope of OR? Problems, like where we are using this, basically, like where all we are using this particular OR. So we're all problems dealing with the waiting line. Okay, the arrival of units or persons requiring service. So what is this waiting line? I hope you guys know. If you might have experienced it first time. For example, there are 4 counters. Okay, you are going to book something. So let's take an example of movie theater. Okay, you are going to a mall. There are 4 different counters to buy tickets. So and there is a big line here for both, all the 4. So what you do when you go there, you check for the shortest line. Okay, you go, like for example, this is the shortest line. You go and stand here. So over the period of time, like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, depending upon the line, you should go there, or it may take more number of time, like more amount of time as well. So what happens when you are here, you feel that these 3 lines are going faster. Okay, so what happens if, for example, this goes till here, okay, and you are still here? So what you feel? You change this particular line and you go and stand here. So when you come here, again you feel that all other 3 are moving faster. So this is the like dilemma of a person to go in line. Okay, this is waiting line, one of the dilemmas of waiting line. So to solve such kind of problems, also we use this. So this is basically scientifically proven. So in, I think, the National Geographic or somewhere, they have proved this with people. They make them stand, okay, in different booths. There are different booths for collecting something, and people are allowed to change lines if they feel that the other line is going faster. So people are sent there, so they will go on changing it. So if you change it, you reach the, or you take the longest time, because you feel this is going fast. You go here, there will be more people standing over here. Okay, so you go behind them, then suddenly you feel that, okay, the person was standing just before me, so he has reached too far or too near to the counter. Then you again change the line. So what happens in doing so? You take the maximum amount of time. Okay, instead of taking the minimum time, you will take the maximum amount of time to reach the counter. So this is some of the problems, like I just explained to you about the waiting line. So it could be only this, or there might be different problems also in this. Then problems dealing with the allocation of material or activities among limited facilities. So like there are 3 different works going on, and all the 3 need a similar set of materials. So how are you allocating? So will you allocate one, like for example, process 1, 2, 3, 4. So will you allocate all the material that you have to process 1, process 2, 3, 4, or will be dividing equally? Or you are going to check, like, which process is taking more time and which process needs more of raw material. So based on all this, so this is called as scientifically coming up with a solution. So just like that, okay, there are 4 places where I need to send this. I will divide exactly into 4 and I'll send. Okay, this might be right. This might be one of the right answers. When all the process, the amount of raw material required is also same. So at that time this works. So there might be one process which takes a lot of time. For example, process 1 takes 2 hours, process 2 takes 2 hours, process 3 takes 3 hours, and process 4 takes 4 hours. So what you need to do? For process 1 and 2, you have to allocate more material. Okay, for 4 processes to run simultaneously for the specific amount of time. Otherwise, what happens if you divide equally? What happens? Process 1 and 2 will finish fast, 3 will finish next, and the 4th will finish at the last. So that should not be the case. So you need to mathematically check what is the amount required, what is the time required to complete that particular process and allocate accordingly. So this is again OR is used where allocation of material among different activities, okay, in among limited facilities, because the raw material is only limited. You are having only that much in stock with you. So where all will you give? Just as an example. Then equipment replacement problems. So when can I replace my equipment? When should I buy a new one? So that there should not be an issue, okay, for production. So we need to check with the lead time. Is the product available, or is the machine available? What is the time to get it here and install it? Okay, all these things. So till then, what will be the case of my process? Because this machine may be one of the part in a process and not the process itself. So if you remove it in between suddenly, so what happens? Will my lead time increase? Okay, or is it better repairing the old machine that is there if it is broken down, or should I install a new machine? What is the time required for doing so? So all these things are being taken into consideration and a decision is given. So as I told you, decisions. So should I replace the machine? Should I repair the machine? Okay, or should I replace a part? Or should I try to make changes there only and try to make it work? So these are the different alternatives. Okay, so which one do I need to choose? So based on all the information that you have got, you need to make a decision, analyze those, then come up with a particular alternative which works well for you. Okay, that is equipment replacement problem. Then comes problems dealing with production process, that is production control and material shipment. So here what happens, so for a particular person who is manufacturing, he needs raw materials, and there are different kinds of things here. Okay, raw materials is one. Okay, then work in progress it's called. So some processes will be there, and as and when the raw materials is going, we call that as work in process. Then comes semi-finished products. Then comes the last one, that is fully processed product. Okay, so these are the different uh, phases of the raw material or your product, which is called in a different way because it is at a particular point. So raw material, then work in progress, then semi-finished product, then finished product. Okay, so it will tell you how much of it is being worked, how much of it is there in your inventory, how much of it is semi-finished, and how much of it is finished. So if somebody comes and asks you, I need that particular material or that particular product from you, so you'll be able to tell properly that I'm having this many quantity ready with me. I can give you so much. So if the like requirement is more, you need to wait for this much time. Okay, so this all can be calculated properly because we are keeping tab on what material is where and it is in which condition. Okay, then comes problems with maximization and minimization. Problems with maximization and minimization. So yesterday in the previous class I gave an example of maximization and minimization. Like there is a farmer who needs to put some particular fertilizers like urea and potash. Okay, I might have given different example, urea and potash in certain quantity. Now he is getting mixture of both urea and potash in one bag in certain quantity, and in other bag again there is a mixture but in different quantity, and the prices are also different. So whether he has to go with the product A or product B. So here we need to minimize the cost. So this is a minimization problem. We need to minimize the cost for that particular farmer, and anyway you know that he needs to put this much amount of urea and potash into his fields. So that will not change, but the prices will change. So which is beneficial for him, whether he needs to go with A, he needs to go with B, or there is a combination of both. So it may so come that it may have a combination of both. So these are the problems which you will be learning in your next model, that is maximization and minimization problem. So I told you about maximization. For minimization, again, for example, minimization of cost. Sorry, not maximization. I just gave an example of minimization where he is minimizing the cost. Next, for maximization. So for example, you are selling your product in many places. Okay, and the margins are also different. And it may so happen that you might have multiple products also. So for a manufacturing plant, which one I need to produce more? There is product A and product B. So to get maximum profit, so what is the quantity of A to be produced and what is the quantity of B to be produced? So here, if you produce in those particular quantity, you will get more profits. Okay, so these all things are there to find out. Like you might be also in a dilemma. First thing, what I want you to do is, whenever I am telling you something, so imagine yourself in the shoes of those people. Like I told you about a farmer. Think you are the farmer. You are having two different products. So which one I need to do? So do you have the answer? If yes, well and good. If not, so we'll see how to do it, right? So if you are a salesperson or a manufacturing, you are working in a manufacturing plant and you are the decision maker. So based on your decision, there is profits, less profits, or no profits or loss. So everything is because of the decision taken by you itself, right? So what you need to do, you need to take proper decision where you are getting maximum profits, right? So these kind of problems are solved here, maximization and minimization. Here we are using the graphical method. So we call this as LPP, that is linear programming problems. So this is the next chapter for you that you will be learning. Next is problems dealing with the duration related to the completion of a project and the probabilities of completing or completion of the project before time, on time, and after the specified time for the completion. So again, I gave you an example. There's a project that has to be done. You need to make sure that as you are applying, like for example, you are a contractor and you are applying to get that particular project for you. Okay, so in terms of government and other this one, we call it as tender. You need to place a tender to get a particular work. So you need to mention everything. So what is the duration that you're going to complete, how much of material you need, what is the costing of it, how many people are going to employ. Okay, everything, this particular information should be put there in that particular tender. Okay, there are two kinds of tender. One is financial tender and the other is the technical tender. There are two kinds in one thing only. So one thing, only the amount is being mentioned. I need so much amount in this much intervals of time. Okay, at this particular phase. So that is the financial tender. And there is technical tender. Will give what kind of material you are using, why you are using, the procurement of it, what is the price also sometimes we will put over there. These are technical and financial bids, okay, tenders. Where sometimes what happens, as a person who is giving the project, he will tell you, you need to use this particular material only. Then you will again try to find out, okay, how much is required or what is the minimum quantity that you will be using there and how much it is costing you. Plus, after doing all these things, you need to have your percentage of profits in that. So here, this is very important. At times, it so happens that you tell them, okay, I'll finish the work in 3 months. So if you are not able to finish, like for example, 3 months or 90 days. So if you are not able to complete this particular project in 90 days, so he will start putting you penalties. So for one day it will be like 0.2%. The next day it will be 0.2%. Then after 10 days it will become 0.5%. So what happens if you go on increasing the duration of the project, your profits go on decreasing because everything is calculated, right? So if I complete in this particular time, my expenses should be so much and the remaining amount is my profit. So now, as and when there are penalties, how are you going to pay it? You are paying it from your profits. Your profits go on decreasing. So up to what point? Up to it becomes zero. Then you have to pay more from your pocket. So you need to calculate these things very properly, taking everything into consideration. Otherwise, who is in loss? You are in loss. It may so happen by doing a project, you might want to put more money from your pocket than you get any profits because of your wrong calculations. It may happen. So those kind of problems are taken care in work. Then it also helps with the decision making with respect to risk. Okay, so am I taking more risk? So is it the right risk for me? Okay, based on your condition. So so many things are there. So that is again we are making the assessment of risk. So even I gave example of alternatives. So to do a particular work, we are having different alternatives. So what is the risk involved in each alternative? What is the duration? Okay, and what are the other factors that are affecting me in each and every alternative? We compare, we're coming up with a one alternative which is very much suiting me in giving the answers or finishing that particular work that is given to me. So I hope you are understanding, right? Any problems, any difficulties, anything you did not understand till here? Yes, students, anything you did not understand? Please respond.
So understood.
Understood, right? Please see, I was about to go and check whether it's the connection is cut or what, because it is very difficult when I am projecting my screen to you. Okay. So please say yes or no. If no, please tell me what you are not understanding. I'll explain it again. Okay. That's all. Just yes or no. If no, which part? That's all. Then characteristics of operations research. So this is what is theory I'm telling you, most of it. So you need to bear me with this particular theory for some time. Then we'll move with the problems. I think there will not be having much of issues. Okay, characteristics of OR. Four major characteristics is being given to you. Interdisciplinary approach. So what is interdisciplinary approach? For solving a problem, interdisciplinary teamwork is essential. This is because while attempting to solve a complex management problem, one person may not have the complete knowledge of all the aspects. Okay, that is what is called as interdisciplinary. That means people from all the departments will come together, or related departments will come together. They'll speak from their point of view, stating their expertise in that particular department in which they are. Okay, so it is called interdisciplinary. So everyone will come from the department. The expert basically will be sent there. So they will discuss. So one person will be heading everything. Then all people are there. They will speak from their expertise from the department. Then they'll come up with a solution. Because you may not consider one of the effects from other department if you have come, if that person is not there, and it may affect a company badly, or you may end up with wrong results. So as a person of that particular department and he has an expert, he will give his points stating that okay, this might happen if we are doing this. Okay, so here it is basically a set of different thoughts from different departments. Okay, interdisciplinary approach. This means we should not expect one person to find a desirable solution to all the managerial problems.
So I cannot hear you.
काय बे बोल की जेवलास? नाही बे बसलोय घरामध्ये. ए रेकॉर्डिंग वर आहे गप गप. So guys, we will continue in tomorrow's class. Goodbye.